Good morning, friends. Today is the day that I am going to do some gardening, even though it is still the beginning of March. Well, actually, it's March 15th, so middle of March. But I'm going to show you here in a second where I have my seedlings, and some of them anyway. And then I'm going to do some up potting today. So let me show you real quick my setup camera. Okay, so here I have, back up so you can see it. I have just a metal shelf picked up at, I think I got it at Menards, and some Rubbermaid trays, like the flat ones that go under your bed or can go under your bed, and some shop lights. I do not have grow lights. This is my first time ever using lights on my seedlings, and this is my 4th year of starting my own seeds. So I typically just stick them in the window and they do fine. But I wanted to try out shop lights and see how they do. And so they are definitely growing a lot faster with the lights. So I left them upstairs in my little mock greenhouses. I'll show those to you in a little bit. And until they really had their first set of true leaves. And then I moved them downstairs under these lights. Now I kept them in these Rubbermaid totes just because the basement's kind of cool, and I was hoping that the totes would hold in some heat, and they have done so well. And so what I'm going to do, first I'm going to set the camera down so I can show you. Turn that back around. Okay, hope it'll sit there. So I'm going to take out the tomato plants that need to be up potted. And basically what I mean by up potting is I'm going to put them in a bigger pot, and I'll show you that. So this one is a Brandywine tomato. Let's see, let me scoop that down, set this down, because I'm just using a reusable or disposable aluminum cooking pan. I think I got it at Dollar Tree. I don't want to drop that, and those are kind of flimsy. So let's see, I think that's all the tomatoes that are in this top tote. There's several tomatoes down here, so let me pull some of these out. This one is a mushroom basket tomato. So definitely a beautiful plant. These leaves are kind of have a purple tone. A lot of these varieties I've never grown before. I just thought they were really neat looking in the catalog, so I thought I would try them. This is a German pink. Orange accordion. I didn't have great germination on this one, so I'm not sure. I may try to restart a couple of those. This one is a something terracotta. I don't really know what that says. Okay, I'm going to change gears here. It would be easier to take out what I'm not going to up pot, because these are not all going to fit on my little aluminum tray. I'm going to move some of these that do not get up potted up here. You know, gardening is all about trial and error. So is deciding on what you're going to do with them. All right, move these up, move these down. It'll just be easier to carry this tote out. Okay. Whoops. I am excited, and I'll show you in a little bit. My peppers are up. I have a really hard time starting peppers, and so I am excited to report that some of them have sprouted. They're very tiny, and I think they have a long ways to go, but they have started. Okay, so I'm going to carry this tote upstairs, and we will do some up potting. Okay guys, so I am now upstairs on my screened in back porch, and I have a little table out here, and this is where I do a lot of my seed starting and my up potting. Anything that's going to be dirty, and then it's just easier to clean up. And so today is supposed to be 60 degrees. It's still a little bit cool out here for short sleeves right now, but I didn't want to get my jacket sleeves all dirty with the potting soil. So what I've got, I have some red Solo cups. Doesn't matter what color you use, plastic cup works great. I've taken my scissors and I've poked and kind of twisted a hole into the bottom for drainage. And then also, I do try to reduce some of the plastic I use, but I can reuse these every year for quite a long time until they start getting torn up. This is probably the 3rd year on some of these red cups that I've used, and they work really well. Now I could up pot into, I save all my little seedling cups when I buy plants, and I could up pot into that, but I mean there's a significant height difference between the two, and I'll show you why I want a deeper or taller cup to put them into. So I've got my soil in here. I've only filled it about, tiny bit over half. I took my plastic knife and I just kind of twirled a little hole into the center. Let me pull you down closer so you can see better. Okay, and I'm gonna take, let's do these Brandywine tomatoes. Now I'm gonna very carefully take these out. In fact, I'm gonna use a plastic spoon to kind of scoop them out. Okay, there we go. And I'm okay with this soil falling away from the plant and from the roots. Look at those lovely roots. But one thing that's exciting about a tomato is it will develop roots all the way up this stem. So I want to bury it as deeply as I can into my cup. All right, I'm gonna very carefully get it down in there, and I'm gonna add more soil. Let me grab a cup that does not have a hole yet. And I'm just gonna very carefully put the soil, try to center the plant into the cup. Oops. Press it down a little bit, and there you go. That Brandywine is up potted. Now, I had one Brandywine marker in this, so I need to make some more markers, and I just write on a plastic spoon, and then next year I'll either wash that off or I'll write on the other side of the plastic spoon. Get a few uses out of that. I've used popsicle sticks, and they wick up so much of the water from the ground and out of the pot that my writing just kind of fades away on there. So I really have gone away from using the popsicle sticks. So I'm gonna up pot several of these. Oh, I want to show you too. I work on a tray, and that way when I do spill my soil, it's easy to clean up and get back into the bag or back into the pot. Okay, so I'm gonna get these up potted. I'm gonna do all of these tomatoes, and I will bring you back to see what's next. Okay guys, so I am finished up potting for today, and let me show you what I did. I did run out of solo cups and I ran out of plastic utensils, so I had to get a little creative. Here's a lots flowers and a few tomatoes, lettuces, Swiss chard, broccoli, cauliflower. There's just a couple here in this tote that I had up potted, just trying to squeeze in what I can. Over here I've got more tomatoes, and this is calendula. Up here on top, which I am really running out of space, that's all bachelor's buttons. All of those up potted a while ago. Down here, all the tomatoes, well, most of the tomatoes that I up potted. This whole tote is tomatoes. Did discover a couple of my tomatoes had a very low germination rate. I may or may not try to start those again. This is a Cherokee purple, and kind of broke it when I was taking it out of its tiny little cup, so we'll see if it survives. And then down here on the bottom, which it's kind of dark, a few more tomatoes and more flowers. Wasn't going to do the flowers today, but then I thought, while I'm making a mess, I might as well go ahead. So I said I had to get creative in marking. I ended up taking some painter's tape and putting it on the pot and just writing with a Sharpie on that, and it worked okay. I am out of shelf space, as you can see. I am also out of lights. Could possibly go swipe one from the garage and put in here. We'll see. But I think right now what I'll do is typically when I leave for work in the mornings, I come through this room to get to the garage to where my car is at. And so what I'll do is I'll shut these lights off, and then I just let them sit with natural light from the window. But I'm thinking what I might do, instead of shutting the lights off, is just move them around. Maybe the totes that have been under the light all night, set them down on the floor, move the little trays that haven't had any light yet up under the light. I don't know. Have to kind of play around with it and see how it goes. So now I want to take you upstairs and show you the pepper babies. Okay, so here are my tiny little pepper babies. They are just starting to come up. There is a couple tomatoes here. This is a yellow pear tomato. I had started it just a few days ago. And this one is a parsley. Not doing great. I might stick a few more seeds in there. But this is very exciting. I have another tray about this size of peppers that just have not come up yet. But peppers take a really long time to sprout. So I'm not giving up on them yet. But there you go. Okay, so I have one more experiment I want to show you. Okay, so I have this Greenstalk. I purchased it last summer. It was late summer when I bought this, I think. And it worked really well. I grew some lettuces, spinach, some Swiss chard in here, but I really didn't get things planted quickly enough, and so we really did not get to harvest that much. But I had this bright idea. I thought I'll come out here and plant a few lettuce seeds and stick these juice bottles where I cut the bottoms out of them on top to use as a little greenhouse, and we're going to see if it works. I do think, I don't know if you can see down in there, probably not, maybe. There's a tiny, tiny little sprout in that one, but the other two don't have anything yet. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. We'll see if the Greenstalk turns out to be useful during these colder months. I mean, like I said, it's still March 15th and it's warm today, but then tomorrow's supposed to be cold and rainy. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'll give you a look here of the, there we go. Right down there is my garden, the in-ground garden. My plan for this year was to add raised beds. I have the lumber. I have a friend who's willing to bring me some barn clean out, and I just haven't got them done yet. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I really, really hope I can get at least a couple beds in this season, and then next year add more to it, but we'll see. I have garlic out in that tire with a fence around it to keep the squirrels from digging it up. And then here in the center, I have been working on planting more perennials and adding wood chips. I really want to get the periwinkle out of there. It's beautiful when it blooms, but it is so invasive. So I have a lot of work to do. A lot I want to get done this season, and we'll just have to see how it goes. So I hope that you are growing something, even if it's on a windowsill. My son and his girlfriend, they grow peppers and lettuces on their windowsill in their apartment, and I'm so proud of them for that. My daughter has a beautiful raised bed garden, and she sent me a picture last night. Her carrots are up, and that is just so exciting. So I want to send you away from this video today and tell you happy gardening, and like I said, go grow something.